Hi everyone, it's Bonita from Pennies to Dollars, and today I thought we would talk about vacation planning, cheap vacation planning, and I'm talking about road trip vacation planning within the United States. Many of you probably don't know, but I've been to all 50 states, so I do talk about being frugal, but I love vacations, and that's one of the areas that I plan on spending my money every time I get a chance. And so I save throughout the year for vacations, but I also plan them frugally. But at the end of the vacation, you would have no idea that I planned it frugally because we had a great time and we saw so many things along the way. It just takes a lot of planning. So my first tip on that is start planning right away. A lot of times I start planning my next vacation as soon as I get back from my last vacation, and that next vacation may be a year away, but I start my planning in my free time here and there. And one of the best ways that I do that is I order state travel guides. And if you don't know that these are available, they are available and they are free. You can order them online or they have 800 numbers. And they will mail you, this is Wyoming, this is Missouri, Idaho. They will mail you all of these for free if you just ask them. And they have everything that's going on that year. They have little tidbits about the different regions. They have little maps. A lot of them have free maps that they will send you, free road maps, which is a great tool if you get in areas where your phone service doesn't work. You don't want to be caught without a paper map. But they have little tidbits about the different areas and things to see. They even tell you how much things cost with phone numbers and email addresses to be able to make reservations if you need to. They have sections in the back that have to do with like, if you camp, they have the campsites. They have everything in these. And so I start with those. I kind of pick what I might want to see, and I have some, wish lists on things I want to see, and then I start planning those routes around what I want to see from these trip magazines. And I look at what we can see along the way that is free, maybe a roadside attraction, hiking, state parks, national landmarks, scenic routes. I look for things that will get us out of the vehicle and that are cheap or free. And now that's not to say I do not spend money on things, because I do, but I look for those things to try to make the bulk of my vacation with those things all along the route, so that you're not in the car for 2 days trying to get to one place and then you get out and you are there and you come home. I have things planned the entire way, and I have planned some wonderful vacations. We have absolutely enjoyed this. I have so many trip books of all of our pictures and things that we have seen along the way. But those are things that I look for along the way to the destination that I have chosen. And don't be afraid to stop if you see something. So many times there will be things that aren't even in this book, things that are unadvertised, that are just along the side of the road, statues with history. There's so many things along the way that you can see that are worth stopping for. So if you see something, don't be afraid to turn around and go back and see that while you are there, because who knows when you will be there next, if ever. The second tip I have is to budget what you think it will cost. Once you've gone through these trip magazines and you've kind of chosen your destination, or even 2 or 3 destination points, start planning what they're going to cost to determine which one you want to choose to go to next based on what you can afford. And so I look, if I'm going to camp, I look at camping fees. I also, if I'm going to stay at a hotel, I look for hotels that have free breakfast. I look for things like that to try to save money along the way. And I pack as many meals as I possibly can from the get-go. I pack them, I have them ready to go in the vehicle. That includes snacks, drinks. I freeze water bottles to put in the ice chest to make us where we don't have to buy ice as soon. You can pack your hot dogs frozen. As many things as you can do to make that ice chest last a long way before you have to start purchasing items. And maybe you want to purchase items to refill that ice chest. A lot of times we would plan maybe one meal out per day, and the other two I would plan that we were going to either eat at the hotel or we were going to eat something out of the car. And so I budgeted this along the way. So you're going to want to budget each day. What is it going to cost me to do this? What's it going to cost me in gas? What's it going to cost me in food? If there are entrance fees, if there are toll road fees, parking fees, any of these things you're going to want to budget in and kind of get a round estimate of what it's going to cost you to go. Sometimes if you don't have a lot of money, you're going to want to look right off the bat at how far can I go? Do I need to do a vacation where I go maybe 6-8 hours and I stay there for several days and I don't go anywhere else and I just enjoy that area? There's been times that gas has been so expensive that maybe we just chose a destination, and we chose a destination that had lots of things within that travel distance that we could go see, but we stayed at that destination. We camped at that destination, and then each day we drove maybe within 60-80 miles to see everything around it. And we chose that destination based on that fact that there were things within driving distance because gas was so high, and we still enjoyed those vacations. Sometimes those vacations are even more fun if you're camping because you're not having to take down the camper, put the camper back up, and do all of that at each stop. So those go and stay vacations, those are fun. Also, you're going to want to look at what you can save between now and the time that you're going to go on vacation. Look at the time frame that you're looking at. How much money do you have? Are you going to get a tax refund between now and then? Have you got money saved back for vacation? Are you budgeting some every month for vacation? In my budget video, I talk about actually budgeting money each month for vacation. And that way when vacation rolls around, you are not trying to just pull money from somewhere or say, well, I guess we just have to stay home this vacation. We have to do things, within driving distance of our house. We don't get to go anywhere. And then everyone is disappointed. So look at how much you think that's going to cost you. And then look about how much you think it's going to cost per day. Some things, maybe if you're in the car a lot or you're doing a lot of free things some days, it's not going to cost that much. And if you've brought a lot of food and maybe you're just eating out one meal and it's not a fancy meal, it won't cost that much. But then there's going to be days where you're paying a lot of entrance fees or parking fees, or your camping fees are higher because you're in a destination location with a lot of tourists. There's going to be times where it costs you more per day. So map that out. And I know this sounds like a lot of work, but it is so worth it. But map all this out because you don't want to get somewhere and then run out of money. You want to get somewhere and not have to worry about money because you have budgeted this, you have planned this, you have predicted what everything is going to cost you. I have always came home with more money than I budgeted for. If I think it's going to cost me, say, $2,000, there's been times I've came home with still $400 in my purse. So, I have never been really in a position where I've gotten somewhere and I've ran out of money because it just hasn't happened that way. There's so many things along the way that we end up seeing that we didn't plan for, that took time, that were free, that we never ended up spending as much money as what we predicted. So let me know some of your travel planning ideas. I absolutely love this. Like I said, I've been to all 50 states. There are so many places I want to see again. There's so many places I haven't been in those states that I wanted to see, but we didn't have time to see. And that's another thing. Maybe plan a little bit extra time here and there. Don't book yourself so tight that if there are things to see, you're saying, oh, we'll just have to see it next time because we got to get here and we're not going to get to see this, which is why we left the house to begin with. So maybe plan in a little bit of extra time in there, so if you run into those things, you do have time to stop and see those things, because who knows when you'll get back that way. You may want to choose a different state the next time. But I've also traveled in 5 provinces in Canada. That is also very much worth seeing. Most all of my destinations have been by car, except for when we went to Hawaii, which I would love to go to Hawaii again. That was one of my favorite places that I've ever been. And another favorite place was probably Yellowstone. I've been there probably 5 times and I want to go back. Every time you go to Yellowstone, it looks different than the time you went before. I hope this has been helpful for you. I hope this has been exciting to think about planning your next vacation. Order these travel guides. They have been a lifesaver for me, and they have photos in there so you can see if there's something you really want to see. It helps you know that you want to see that in person. So happy traveling, have a great summer, and thanks for watching.